Greetings friends on the Red Line Show, and today we'll discuss a particular topic. YouTube is no longer a sin in Russia. So today with me is Dmytro and Serhii. Let's talk about what's happening with YouTube and why Russia intends to cut off the information space for Russians themselves.
Oh, it's a very long story about Russian authorities and YouTube and how Russian authorities
I thought you will say it's a long story about Russian authorities and truth.
and logic
and information as a whole. Yeah?
Yes, because Russian authorities and truth is like since USSR.
or maybe earlier.
Maybe
from Empire.
And what about YouTube?
All we know is that Russian authorities they don't like YouTube because it's free. You cannot censor it, and we know that for half a year they are depressing YouTube speed of YouTube.
Yeah, they've been lowering the upload and download speeds for Google itself, not only YouTube.
Yeah, for all Google services. And now we have next step of I can call it war between YouTube and Russia.
About censorship. That's Russian. I want to say one very interesting moment. Russian media Kommersant wrote that the problem with YouTube is only for households. So in mobile internet, you get access to YouTube.
It's a fact.
It's Russian media Kommersant wrote about this issue because they wrote that customers began to decline on contracts because they thought that it's like providers, internet providers block the YouTube. Because if you can see the video on your phone but couldn't see it at home, it means that your home provider is bad. Because so the problem is that in Russia the main issues with YouTube is with households customers, but it doesn't mean that tomorrow it will not be
with mobile phones too.
Because why there are some access to YouTube? Because on the Gaze platform recently we published the shorts about the events in the Kursk region, and the main part of the people who watch this video was from Russia, and we were wondering because what is happening. YouTube is blocked in Russia, but
they're still watching it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Not by VPN, but
yes.
Directly from Russia.
YouTube said that all the viewers from Russia. So YouTube it's watching on the IP, not on the origin of viewer, because if you use VPN, no one knows where you're connected.
Let's make a small remark for our viewers. And the Gaze is the information platform like with YouTube, Twitter and website, which is also part of our media holding, and you can subscribe and watch that channel too.
And us also.
Yeah, also us. Subscribe to the Gaze and to UETV, of course. Also, do you think that by blocking YouTube right now after the Kursk operation, decolonization
events.
Some kind of a special operation in Kursk region, Kursk Oblast.
Kremlin special operation.
No, it's like Ukraine special operation, and Kremlin is counter-terrorist.
Okay.
Something, yeah. Do you think that they decided to ban it in one day after the Kursk operation started?
I don't think that it's these events are related one to another, because I think that maybe there are some. I think there are some another reasons, but it could be that the Kremlin use these events for their for this decision, because now no one use YouTube because all of Russian.
They're bloggers, they're content makers.
No. I'm talking about the Russian people. They are watching the TV channels. They are watching YouTube,
yes,
or their own social media, ВКонтакте or Одноклассники.
Telegram.
or Telegram, and that's why there are too little users of YouTube, because and that's why Kremlin is use this, because also you can say Kremlin can say that we banned YouTube because they are spreading disinformation about events in the Kursk.
But do you see as this banning Google and YouTube and maybe switching them to Yandex or something like that, YouTube and Yandex, by building this separate information? It is information space, the whole segment of internet, like isolated Cheburnet. What's the danger? Let's not talk about the danger for the Russian people. Yeah, let's talk about the danger for Europe, for us, for Ukraine, if they like cut off all of internet, try to cut off all of information from the free world in Russia. What can they do inside that bubble?
Inside that bubble.
I thought.
Well, we have one example of closed internet, North Korea, for example.
China.
China,
it's similar to closed.
They have like some bridges with their Western internet.
Yes, you have tools in China.
But
if
if you're interested in the Western websites, then Chinese authorities interested in you. it's a rule of China, because.
As I understand, Pasha, you told about hypothetically, if Russia would try to cyber attacks, to do cyber attacks on Google, that it wouldn't, in theory, hurt Russians, or...
No, I mean, what can they do with information, with more brainwashing inside Russia, with their internet?
I think they had options before, but mostly they didn't use it.
They choose not to listen to the internet from the free world.
Yeah. They already did it, so I don't think that it will be really different.
I don't agree with you, because on the example of Ukraine, when Ukrainian authorities banned Russian Vkontakte, social media, Russian websites, media, then Ukrainian people use Western social media and Western sites. It means that you, of course, all of us could use VPN or use some tools to get the Russian information, but all the people is lazy.
Yeah, and it's more convenient.
And if you want to get this information, you will get it. But if you don't want, you will get information from those sources that are available to you.
But please, don't compare Ukrainians and Russians. Many our people in Ukraine, they already used different sources of information before banning Russian social media.
I'm not...
In Kyiv, for example, many people.
It's like just Kyiv, because I know that outside the Kyiv there was too many users of Vkontakte. Too many. It was you see it. For example, it's a social network about the news media. Even before full-scale invasion, there are many Russian media was popular in Ukraine. For example, Strana.ua. It was one of the most popular, but it was the Russian media in Ukraine.
Yes, but we had different point of views as people. How to say it? It wasn't, I guess, majority of people who used just Russian sources.
Yes.
So we had different point of views as a people. And in Russian, it's like, it's only my opinion, but 95% they just, well, I will watch state channel, and listen to Putin.
Because they will never lie to us.
Of course, right? Of course.
Yeah. But at the same time, for example, we could use the experience of Soviet Union when we also
Radio Liberty.
Yes, Radio Liberty. Who wants to listen Radio Liberty? They listened it.
Yep.
And I thought, I think that it will be the same in Russia today. Because, but at the same time, for example, another point for banning of YouTube is that Russian bloggers who are not supporting the Kremlin, they must use, if they want to take their information to Russian people, they must use pro-Kremlin websites, YouTube or, for example, Vkontakte.
And on YouTube they can ban any video at any moment like that.
No, of course.
And that's why you must be agreed with the Kremlin's rules. Because, for example, if you now some pro-Russian, not pro-Russian, Russian pro-liberty Latinina or Katz, you could say that I'm not a Kremlin agent or something like that. But if you will tell the truth on the YouTube, it could be that you could be the not FSB agent. But if you are working on RuTube, on the social media that on some hosting that are under Russian control, that it means that you are under control of FSB.
Of course, but most number of liberal bloggers, they already left Russia. They went abroad.
Yes, but they still
can use YouTube and so on.
They could use YouTube, but now they couldn't. Now they because YouTube is blocked on Russia.
Because you see, what's the point of social media? Making consuming information more convenient, more fast, more accessible. And if you have to turn on VPN to access YouTube and watch it, maybe the younger part of the population will do that. But imagine a man of 50 years old in a trolley bus or in a bus, like taking his phone. He used to watch YouTube. Maybe some liberal bloggers too. Maybe some information. He could turn on Western news and like laugh of them. But now he won't be able to do that because he doesn't know what VPN is.
But look, we have one fact. Now in Play Market on Android, in Russian segment, first place of downloads, it's VPN. Yep, it's a fact.
Okay. I used VPN early. Now I'm not used because sometimes you need some information from the banned area. And that's why you download VPN. It's not the first place in the Play Market. It is not mean that it is the most usable. Because I could use it one time in a year. But I must get this program on my phone. And that's why I don't think that Russian will use VPN for access to YouTube. Because I thought that Russian as a human, if you could say that, as human, they are lazy. They will use the most acceptable media for them. If it will be RuTube, they will use RuTube with all the information that is controlled by Kremlin.
But it's almost empty. It's not interesting.
But they have those bloggers which were really popular on YouTube.
For example.
Let's not mention them on our show, but there was a techno blogger that became like part of the propaganda machine with the Kremlin directly. He was a really popular blogger with millions of views on videos on YouTube. Pre-war, pre-2022. And let's like figure out what's the reason for banning YouTube now, and what will be maybe the consequences for Google? Will Google lose something from this?
No,
I don't think so.
I thought that no Google, no either another company in the world will lose something if they will
Cut off Russia.
cut Russia.
Yeah.
It's mean about some Adidas, some Nike, any company that is working in Russia. It's not an advertising.
Those brands don't pay us for advertising.
And that's why
yet.
I'm ashaming them because they must go out from the Russia. All the companies
Leave the
that
Russian market,
Leave the
yeah.
Russian market,
yes,
of course.
it's
And-
because you not get there something because you are losing there. Even if you get some money from Russia, it's mean that you are paying for the murderers.
Bloody
for
money, yeah.
murderers. If you want bloody money, go to the prison in your country and let's see some imprisoners working for you for making some T-shirts or something like this.
Yeah, and also, yes, Serhii.
But you know, what would they answer you if they would do it? Just business.
Now
Nothing
they will,
personal.
they will answer. We think of the Russian people, which,
Yes, yes,
which
indeed.
have
Oh, yeah,
rights
it's-
too. They
we-
have
we-
the right.
Much worse.
We know
I
this
agree.
Russian media that is want to support our pure Russian boys in army that is invading
In
Ukraine.
trenches, yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but they are so poor. We must heal them. We must feed them and so on, so on. Yeah, feed and so
Yeah,
on.
and
So on.
Serhii, you also talked about a potential cyber attack from Russian side on to
Yeah.
Google. We had some cyber attacks that downed Ukrainian mobile operator completely shut down for
Yeah.
1 and 2 days. Could there be an attack on Google's servers from Russian hackers?
I don't think it would be such an easy walk as with our mobile operator, of course. But in case of Russia, military are doing this. They have resources. They can hire people, even from abroad, from Europe, from US.
You mean
and so on.
hackers from abroad? like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best
yeah, yeah,
ones?
yeah. And you know, hackers from post-Soviet space, they are the best hackers. Almost always.
That's a tradition. That's
Yeah,
tradition.
yeah. So I think that they can try. I don't know.
But mostly, 1 second, please. Mostly hackers and like security experts, they are intelligent people, and the
not
more
always.
intelligent. No,
No,
Not
no, no, no,
always.
no.
They can be good in some technical things, but nothing more.
Okay.
About cyber attacks, as I understand, for example, in the case of Ukrainian mobile operator,
Yeah, yeah.
it could be some work of people inside the company because this company was created by the Russian people, by the Russian businessmen in 25 years ago, and that's why they could use or maybe had some. Passwords, some accesses
Backups.
to backups, some accesses to servers, and that's why it was so harmful.
Backdoors.
Backdoors,
Yeah.
yes, for harmful for Ukrainian mobile operator. But I think that Russian hackers, I'm not talking that they are bad like Russian soldiers, because hackers Russian is very strong. It's a fact. But I think that they couldn't broke they couldn't make some harm for big companies because, for example, as we know, 4 weeks ago or 1 month ago, when the cyber company made a bad update. And it will, this stopped all the airports in the world. Western experts could broke everything by themselves.
Yeah, I see that.
Without Russian influence.
I remember when I had an exam in the university. It was a remote study, and the whole Google up.
because you must know. Everyone could Google, but you must know as a
No, I mean the services like Google Drive, Google Meet. We could not download our work. We could not upload our answers.
I thought you couldn't get
Google the answers. Yeah,
yes. And it was a problem.
No, we had no physical ability to connect with each other because Google was on a shutdown.
And look, about cyber attacks, we have another option from Russian side. Because it's military intelligence, they have some tools. They can bribe person or blackmail some person inside the company who can give them access, for example.
But all these bribes or blackmailing, you never could know. Will this person who you want to bribe or blackmail will not tell to the management that.
So what? They can bribe or blackmail another person.
Yes, but
and just one, and someone.
Yes, but in this case there are security departments in all companies for not allowing these things in the world, because if
from inside job, it's not always you can do it.
Yes, of
as
course.
a security.
Of course, but if, for example, if I'm a top manager of any company and I get the information that one of my employees was bribed by Russian, it was trying by Russian to bribe it, I will increase my security. It's mean. Because all the Europe nowadays, all the Europe intelligence are working on the Russian issues of not only in cyber, but also we remember the fire in Berlin. We remember, for example, Salisbury, because you never know how Russia will attack your country, your company.
Yes.
It could be cyber attack, it could be physical attack, it could be something.
But I don't think that some commercial, some security service in some commercial company can fight versus, for example, intelligence service of Russian Federation.
I think that it could be because okay.
They have more tools and more resources.
Okay, Russian.
Unfortunately,
it's understandable because all the Great Britain couldn't fight with two tourists who came to see. But I want to say, okay, let's imagine Russia wants to broke some company,
some service,
some service, but it's not state service, but it's commercial service. And okay, for example, there are no shopping of, there are no Adidas for 1 day, for a week, but in a week it will be all restored.
But for example, Google.
Google can restore like in a day.
It all depends.
They will summon all their experts, programmers, developers, everyone, and they will work with no sleep till they fix it.
Of course. But in case of really massive damage, it can be more than.
But
1
that's
day.
a risk, yeah. But indeed, to damage something permanently, you have to have direct access physically to connect into those servers.
But I agree with Serhii because he said very interesting point for me. Because if, for example, if Russia could broke some Google for a week, for 1 week, it will be something
incredible,
crucial for the all world markets, because it became something I don't know what is
must have.
Yeah, and
must have to work.
Yes, and for ordinary Westerns, it will be the disaster. For example, if imagine for all imagine for all teenagers in the West, there are no Instagram for 1 day or no TikTok for 1 day. You imagine what will happen in the world? It will be I don't know. It will be disaster. It will be all of them will read books and what then?
Yeah, and then have you seen Borat movie? They move from skyscrapers, and the skyscraper from Borat movie is like 1 or 2 story buildings. Okay, so it will be a disaster. Next, let's see the direct answer from the United States Department of State on the decision to ban YouTube. Direct quote, it is an evidence of illegitimacy of Russian authorities. They see their own illegitimacy and they try to conceal it from their own people by blocking access to Western news, saying that Russian authorities are illegitimate.
You see, for me, what you said about U.S. authorities, and I thought that U.S. authorities and Western authorities, they are fighting against all this hosting and social media because they are working as a monopoly, and that's why Western authorities want to reduce their influence on the people, on all the stuff, and Russian could use this. I suppose Russian will see us. And I want to tell you, you could use...
I want to sell you something.
to sell you, yes. This is one reason, because Western do the same. Western ban the YouTube. Yeah. Western make some fines for YouTube, for Facebook, for example. It was about for Google. For Google,
yeah,
it
for
was
monopoly.
For monopoly. And that's why we are working on the free market. Russian is working on the free market. It's our name for today's video.
Okay, so that's really that would be an interesting one. Let us remind our viewers that you are watching Redline Show. Subscribe and comment. Maybe your question in the comments will be a topic for our next video. And yeah, YouTube in Russia is banned. We may talk a long time again for it. What do you think? How will that impact Russia, and how will that impact you, your country, that there will be no Russians in the internet?
Russian in internet will be because Russian spies will always be Russian bots will always be in the YouTube in the.
You can reprogram them give me a brownie recipe and they will.
No, so
they will break.
It's yes, reprogram, but there are some lieutenants in the FSB that wrote the text by themselves.
And don't forget about all those. Israeli Russians, German Russians.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the diaspora.
Yeah.
So, please tell us, did you like today's episode? And that's all for today, folks. Thanks.